Hello, everybody. So, here in the UK, we're just starting a new lockdown. And so, I'm going to be sharing some tips and some ideas that you could apply. And the first one is to actually take some time to rest. Um, we can end up getting very busy even when we're at home. Some of you will become very busy, it will be challenging in all sorts of different ways. And some of us, we have the option, we've got a choice about how we're going to spend our time, and it's easy to end up filling our times with loads of stuff to do. So just a little gentle reminder to also take some time for rest. And one way to do that is to just pause between activities, or if you use a calendar, maybe put in some little spots where you're going to stop to have a coffee or a tea and to just have that drink and to just be present with that. Second tip is try a timed journal. So I've been doing this recently and it's really effective and it works in a very short space of time. So you don't need too much time to do it. The way it works is you set a timer for 1 or 2 minutes and you ask yourself a question like, what's my intention for today? Or what I'm grateful for? What am I grateful for? How can I be kind to myself today? What are my current challenges? What am I excited about in the future? What will I do in the late 2021 or 2022? Ask yourself a question, set a timer, and then just keep writing. If it's a 2-minute timer, you keep writing. Even if you don't know what to write, you just write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write a few times. It's good to start with a little pause before you start this as well. And that could be a really effective way of doing some journaling in a short space of time. And you can have some amazing insights, especially when you go back and read it. My third tip is to actually reframe the word lockdown. For many people, that word is stress inducing, anxiety inducing. You could use a different word. You could, call it a national retreat time or call it a time for reflection. Think about what word works for you. I'm sharing some words that work for me. Everyone's different. Think about what word would be more appropriate for you. Social distancing is actually not a good word at all because we socially connect. We physically sometimes need to distance, but we don't need to socially distance. We can keep calling people up, having video calls, and within our support bubbles, we can interact and socialize too. So I would say don't use the word social distancing, use physical distancing, and don't use the word lockdown. Think of a word that would work for you, such as retreat or reflection or quiet time, maybe. This is a picture of Viktor Frankl, who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. And he was in a concentration camp and he wrote an incredible book once he managed to get out of it. And he managed to reframe the situation, see the positive in the most darkest of moments, and say it's a great source of inspiration, and it reminds us that we can do the same too. Next, trust your gut. You've probably heard this advice before, and actually we have different brains. We've got a head brain, a brain in our heart. There's neurons going to the heart and also in our gut. So we have 3 brains actually, if not more. And if we need to tap into them all, if we just use logical thinking alone and just doing pros and cons to make decisions, it's really hard work and doesn't even work that well for harder decisions. And the science shows that too. So just take time to pause and slow down and trust your gut feeling. What would be the right thing for you? What's the best way of looking after yourself? How can you be kind to yourself at this time? How can you navigate this current challenge? Who can you reach out to or talk to about this? That can be really, really helpful. And the final one that comes to mind is that, some of you have goals and things that you want to achieve. Maybe you haven't been exercising for a while and you want to get into exercise, and you're trying to do a lot of running, or you're trying to get some other habit going, like long meditations, for example. Keep it small and tiny. This guy, BJ Fogg, is the #1 behavior change researcher in the whole world. And he's only written one book, and it's called Tiny Habits, and the clue is in the title. It's the small things change everything. Tiny habits make the difference. Tiny, tiny actions. And by tiny, he usually means less than 30 seconds. So rather than say I'm going to go for a half an hour run every day, you can say I'm just going to put my trainers on or my running shoes on, and that's it. If I want to go for the run, I will, but at least I've done my little habit every day. So try and make it really small. With the meditations, come along for 30 seconds. We have a daily mindfulness club. I always say, just come for a few seconds, come for a minute if you want, and stay longer The meditation's half an hour, but you can stay for as long as you want. So start very, very small. These achievable things makes you feel better. So there are all my tips. Thanks a lot for watching. You can find out more on my website, and yeah, let's keep in touch. If you've got any questions at all, feel free to ask me on social media or anywhere else, and I'm happy to answer them. All right. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.